morning, students. So this is Sridhar, Associate Professor in Ramchandra College of Engineering. So in the last sessions, we discussed about that system design through Verilog first unit. In this session, I would like to discuss about that second unit gate level modeling. Our second unit title it is the gate level modeling here. So, so what is the aim of the VLSI designers here? Aim of the VLSI designer is to fabricate the integrated circuit. So that in order to fabricate the integrated circuit, directly we are not fabricate the integrated circuit directly. That is nothing but the from the raw components. So in order to fabricate the integrated circuit, first of all, we have to follow the some flow diagram. We have to follow the some flow chart of the VLSI design flow here. So in that design flow, our first one is known as a specification. So in that specification, we have specified the what is the power, area requirement, what is the cost of the integrated circuit. All those points we will discuss. So second one is the implementation of our idea with the help of the HDL language. So that in order to implementation our idea by using the HDL language, we have the two options. That is the VHL language, Verilog language, and more options are there so that system Verilog also can be used. So for the sake of here, for the sake of development, here I am using that our HDL language is the Verilog HDL. So that in that Verilog HDL, we generally to develop the Verilog HDL, we are using the different types of modeling. So gate level modeling, data flow modeling, behavioral modeling, switch level modeling. So these are the different types of modelings we are used to develop our required integrated circuit here. So in that, so that to fabricate the integrated circuit, compulsory we should take the help of the HDL. So second point is the to develop the HDL, we should know about the modeling levels. So that here in the second unit, we are talking about the gate level modeling. Like that, we are in the next coming units, we talk about that behavioral modeling, data flow modeling, and next one is the switch level model, so that we can able to develop the digital circuits by using our HDL language. So that here I am talking about that gate level modeling here. Second unit title is the gate level modeling. So what are the different types of concepts come into the picture in case of the second unit here? In the second unit, we are talking about that primitives. What are the different types of primitives used in our Verilog language? So, and next one is the to develop the primitives, AND gate primitives or OR gate primitives, compulsory we should know about the structure. So that's why I talk about that module structure here. And next one is the gate primitives. So that here already know about the AND gate primitives. So that we are talking about that OR gate primitive, XOR gate primitive, NAND gate primitives. Like that we are talking about that other gate primitives in our Verilog HDL. So after that, we are developed those gate primitives by using some examples. Verilog implementation of the AND gate primitive, OR gate primitive, XOR gate primitive, and next one is known as the tri-state gates. What are the different types of tri-state gates to be used in our Verilog language here? And next one is the how we are defining the array of gates. Generally, to develop the digital circuit, we will not use only single AND gate or single OR gate. So that compulsory we should take the help of the multiple number of gates. So that compulsory we should take the help of the multiple number of gates here. So that to take the help of the multiple number of gates, we should know about the how to define the multiple number of gates here. So that's why I'm taking the array of instant primitives here. But that's why you should learn about this array of instance of primitives. And next one, by using the knowledge of these primitives as well as array of primitives, we can able to develop some sequential circuits as well as the combination circuits here. So after that, we learn about the how to modeling the delays inside the Verilog HDL here. So that these are the different types of concepts should come across in the second unit here. So that first of all, what are the main steps we have to take care in case of the gate level modeling here. So steps, what are the steps here? Design the smallest submodules. Okay, first one is the construct the modules with the built submodules, and we have to establish the connections between those submodules here. So these are the basic steps. By using these basic steps only, we can able to develop the gate level modeling by using our Verilog HDL here. Okay, students. And next one, now I'll talk about that. What are the different types of our first topic is the gate primitives and gate primitives. So that's why I'm talking about that primitives. Okay, primitives are the modules ready to be instanced. Okay, primitives are modules. It can be ready to be instanced here. So what are the different types of primitives used in our Verilog language? So what are the built-in primitives in Verilog language here? Not gate, buffer gate, AND gate, OR gate. So these are the XOR gate, NAND gate, NOR gate, XNOR gate. So these are the built-in primitives in our Verilog language here. Okay, students. So designware. So vendor can provide some of the primitive gates here. Okay, vendor provides some of the primitive gates here. So let us see that. So so what are the schematics can be used to describe or to identify the Verilog language here. So it having some providing a textual description of the schematic diagram. So generally it having a Verilog recognize the how many gate primitive gates here. It recognize the 12 primitive gates. Okay, students. So generally, so this is the one of the 2 marks questions asked in university examination. Okay, so how many number of primitive gates can be recognized? So it having the 12 number of primitive gates, and next one is list those primitive gates. Okay, so I'll ask about what are the list those primitive gates in our Verilog language here. Okay, students. So I already talked about that. So it having the buffer 0 and NOND or NOR XOR XOR NOT gate buffer gate. These are the primitive gates here. Now I'll talk about that. What are the signals have to be modeled in case of this gate level modeling? So for example, AND gate. So that in case of the AND gate, if you observe that, so here let us talk about that. Here I want to develop that one AND gate, so one OR gate. So here let us see that this is the shape of the OR gate here. So it having the what are the terminals here? So it having the terminal is the, so this is the one terminal, and next one is the, and this one is known as the another terminal of the AND gate here. And next one, what are the outputs here? So this is the output of this OR gate. For example, let us consider. Okay, so that if you observe this is the port A and this one is the port B, and this is known as the output port. So input port A and input port B as well as the output port C here. So what type of inputs we can able to apply at this terminal, and what type of inputs can be able to apply at this terminal, and what type of outputs can be able to get at this terminal. So in case of the gate level modeling, we will discuss those type of input signals applied at the input terminal here. Okay, students. So that's why here in the next slide we are talk about that what are the different types of signals in case of this gate level modeling here. So that what are the types of signals we can able to apply here? We can able to apply the 4 signal values here. So what are the 4 signals values? 0 value, 1 value, X value. So XR simply can be known as the unknown value or the ambiguous value. Input or output signals are the ambiguous value here. So Z is known as the unknown value and Z is known as a high impedance value. So output signals are unconnected value, floating terminals value. So these are known as the different types of signals to be considered at the application of the at the input signals as well as at the output terminals here. Okay, students, and now let us discuss about so why because in case of our primitive gates, compulsory we should talk about in to generate the truth tables of the circuit. Compulsory these inputs, different inputs should apply to the primitive gates here, so that we can estimate the response of the circuit here. So all those response can be computed in case of the gate level modeling here. So that's why I'm talking about these all these values. Students make this point. These are the very essential in our gate level modeling to develop the truth tables of the primitive gates here. Okay, students. And next one is the so already we discussed about that classification of the primitives in clear picture. So it can be classified into the AND or XNOR. This is the one type of classification, and this one is a tri-state gate classification, and this one is known as the buffer and not gate classifications here. Okay, students. So these are the classifications of the primitive gates here. Now, now let us talk about that. So what are the how many types of inputs we can apply to the primitive gates and how many outputs can be obtained from the primitive gate here. So that already we discussed about that AND gate, NAND gate, OR gate, NOR gate, XOR gate, XNOR gate are the primitive gates here. So that it having the how many number of outputs here, it having the single output and it having the multiple number of inputs here, having the multiple number of inputs. What are the inputs here? Input 1, input 2, input n. So it having so that so that's why in case of the primitive gates we can able to apply the multiple number of inputs at the input terminal here. We can able to get the output by using this output port terminal here. Okay, students, and next one, if you observe this I1, so this is the identifier name, this is the label name of this AND circuit. Okay, students, this is the label name for this AND gate. And I2, this is the label name for NAND gate. This is a label name for the OR gate, label name for the NOR gate, label name for the XOR gate, label name for the XNOR gate here. So these are the different inputs as well as the possible inputs and possible outputs of the primitive gate structures here. Okay, students. So in this class, we talk about that classifications of the primitives and what are the inputs we can able to apply. And next one is the what is the general structure of the representation of the primitive gates here. And next one, we talk about that. Already we discussed about that AND gate, NAND gate, OR gate, NOR gate, XOR gate, XNOR gate representations, input ports and syntax representation of the in these basic gates here. Now I'll talk about that syntax representation of the buffer gate, NOT gate, primitive gates here. So that buffer, so that it having the how many outputs here, one input as well as the multiple number of outputs here, having the one input as well as the multiple number of outputs. Similarly, NOT gate having a one input as well as the multiple number of outputs here. So this one is known as the buffer as well as the NOT gate here, one input multiple number of outputs. So it having the multiple number of transitions are the output transitions are the logic 0, logic 1 are the, and x1 x is known as the unknown value. It is known as the unknown value here. Now I'll talk about that our next type of primitive gates. If you observe these, we talk about the classifications of the primitive gates. We already discussed about the syntax of this AND gate, and we will already talk about the syntax of the how to represent the primitive gates of this buffer NOT gate, and we'll talk about that. I'll see that how to represent these tri-state gates. What is the syntax representation of the tri-state gates here? It has only tri-state gates. Its name implies that it having the three terminals. Okay, students, having not three terminals. So that it having the what are the three terminals here? It having the control input, data input terminal, control input terminal, as well as the output terminal here. We will see some picture representation of the tri-state gates in the coming sessions. Before that, I should know about that what is under tri-state gate here. So that it having some control signal, control input, and it having that control input is control on the data input. It produce some output here. So similarly, buffer if zero. So and next one is next tri-state gate is known as a buffer if one. So next control tri-state gate is known as a not if zero, and next control signal is known as a not if one here. So it having control signals as well as the outputs of the tri-state gates here. Now I'll talk about that. So in brief, whatever the gates we have discussed, we can brief those primitive gates in our Verilog modeling here. Okay, so this AND gate. So how we are instantiation of the AND gate in our Verilog language? Compulsory, we should know this instantiation of the AND gate here. Otherwise, if we don't know how to instantiation of the AND gate in our Verilog language, we are unable to develop the Verilog HDLs here. Okay, students. So that what are the inputs here? I1, I2 are the input port terminals here. And what is output here? Output port is known as the O is known as the output terminal here. So like that, he instantiated the all the gates here. Now I'll talk about that. And next one, buffer gate as well as a NOT gate. As per our discussion, it having the multiple number of outputs as well as the input port here. So that's why I am representing the O1, O2, O3 are known as output terminals. I1 or I is known as the input terminals of the gates here. Okay, students, in this session, we are talk about that how to what are the what is the importance of the gate level modeling, and next one is the how to instantiate the different types of gates in our Verilog HDL. Okay, students. So by using this knowledge, develop. So this is assignment for you students. Develop Verilog HCL to instantiation the AND gate, simple AND gate. How to instantiate the simple AND gate by using the Verilog HCL. So this is the assignment for you students. Okay, students, we will see what are the remaining topics in the next session. Okay, students, thank you.